Alright, in this video we're going to continue with our lesson on counting down using our while loop, and we'll also again look at the stepper variable going from high to low, and we'll learn how to print out a table of values. Alright, so let's go over and let's create an activity for 5.5. Let's make sure that works. So I'm going to click on run here just to make sure it works. And looks good. So let's get started with our lesson here for today. So again, we're going to continue on with counting down using our while loops. And so again, the general way to write a while loop counting down is we want to initialize our stepper variable and kind of think to yourself that we're going to initialize our stepper variable to a high value versus a low value. And then we're going to have our while and our condition. So again, we want to create a condition that's going to loop the number of times that we want it to. And then we're going to decrement the stepper variable. So in other words, if we have like x as the stepper variable, we'd have something like x equal to x minus 1. All right, so some key differences, again, when counting down using a while loop are, number one, the stepper variable is initialized to a high value. And then we're going to decrease the stepper variable. And then the inequality symbol might flip depending on how you've written it before. So do keep that in mind. All right, so I had some questions here about loops, so I thought I'd draw a picture just to kind of show how a loop works. So let's just say we have our starting stepper value, and we've got var x equal to 3. So in a loop, again, our loop will always execute as long as our condition, which is right over here, is true. Okay, so for example, in the first iteration, we've got 3 greater than or equal to 0. That's true, so it prints out x. Second iteration, we've got 2 greater than or equal to 0. That's true, prints out x. Third iteration, we've got 1 greater than or equal to 0. That's true. Gets to the fourth iteration, now we've got 0 greater than or equal to 0. And at that point, our value of x still goes down by 1. And that's when it stops, because when it goes to while x greater than or equal to 0, now we have minus 1 greater than or equal to 0, and that's false, and that's why the loop stops. All right, so some questions to ask yourself when working with loops are, does the statement belong inside the loop or outside the loop? And if it's outside, does the statement belong before the loop starts or after the loop ends? All right, so again, let's just kind of start off here with using a while loop that counts down. We're going to print the numbers from 30 to 0. So I'm going to go over to my example 1 code here. So we'll say var x, and our starting value is going to be 30. So let's just go ahead and create our loop here. We want x greater than, and we want to include 0, so we'll say greater than or equal to 0. And then we'll just do our console log x here. And we have to remember this really important step. We have to do x equal x minus 1 to make sure that our stepper variable goes down. So we'll say E1 here, and we'll just take a look at our our output in the debugger console. I'm just going to kind of scroll up here, and we see it goes 30 to 0. All right, great. So let's go on to our second example here. So you decide to try a Shake Shack Korean-inspired chicken sandwich with a vanilla shake, and that makes me really hungry when I look at this picture here. And the total number of calories for this meal is 1,200, which is a lot of calories considering that the recommended daily allowance is about 2,000 calories. So that might be a very big lunch. And so because it's 1,200 calories, and that's a lot of calories, now you want to shake it off. So you burn 8 calories per minute walking around. So you go around the circle, you decide to start walking around. So using a while loop, we're going to display a chart of how many calories you have left to burn from 30 minutes to 0. So what are the steps here? All right, so let's go down here to our example 2. So kind of a lot of things going on here. Let's kind of think about this situation. So first off, we've got calories. So I'm going to create a variable called calories. And so we've got calories, and we've got 1,200. And that's a lot of calories, I have to say. And so from that, we are going to kind of walk around for 30 minutes. So I'll create a variable for x for that, and I'll start off with 30. All right, and so then I'm thinking we have to create a loop here. I'll put that down here. So we have to create a loop, and that'll go from 30 to 0. Okay. And at the same time, I also want to create a header. So to create a header, we'll do a console log here, and we'll say minutes, and we'll tab that over. That's a /t over there. And then we'll say calories. So this is going to create a chart or a table of values of our minutes and our calories. Okay, so let me just go ahead, and this is just like the last problem. I'm just going to print out x for now, and we'll say x equal to x minus 1. Let's just make sure that's working. And so I'll say E2 here. And again, we've got, just like we had before, we've got 30 to 0 over here. Now, so far, we don't have any information here about how many calories we have left. That's currently blank. So let's kind of work on that next. So to add some more information here, we'll do /t here, and think about, we're going to print out calories. So again, let's just kind of make sure that's going to output. We've got E2 here, and again, now we've got our calories on the right hand, we've got our minutes on the left-hand side, we've got calories on our right-hand side like that. All right, however, we do want our calories to decrease. And so if we think about the question, it says you burn 8 calories per minute walking around. So we have to kind of think about, well, wait a minute, how do we decrease calories at the same time? So to decrease calories at the same time, we can say something like calories equal calories minus 8. Kind of think about that as almost like a reverse accumulator pattern. It's just kind of decreasing. Or if you go spend your money in Roblox and you kind of start going down on your Robux because you bought some stuff. All right, so let's give this a try now. I'm going to run this here, and again, let's kind of take a look here. So again, we start off with 30 minutes, and then we print out 1,200. After 29 minutes, we've got 1,192 left, et cetera, et cetera. So in other words, we're printing out these two variables. We've got x and we've got calories, and we've kind of combined them together in a single line in this console log over here. Again, this /t is tabbing over the information to kind of make it look nice over here, nicer. And then we're kind of watching each value print out simultaneously, like that. All right, I hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next video.